The group funded its operations for the year through several sources of income. While a total of 15.5 million Singapore dollars in funds was received from Sports Singapore, the group secured 4.8 million Singapore dollars through various sponsorships, donations as well as from programs and subsidies. Due to the lack of on-field footballing activities brought about by the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on all sports activities, the group saw a 20% reduction of revenue from sponsorship, advertising and TV rights as well as competition sanction fees. The group's total expenditure for financial year 2021 amounted to 20 million Singapore dollars, with the Singapore Premier League making up 62.5% of the total spending. As part of the FAS's commitment to help our SPL clubs remain sustainable during the challenging times of financial year 2021, close to 8 million Singapore dollars was handed out in the form of subsidies to provide continued financial support to clubs. Of this, a total of 790,000 Singapore dollars in supplementary subsidies was distributed to assist SPL clubs whose revenue streams may have been impacted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This was made possible due to a reduction in group's expenditure in community outreach and youth development programs, which were greatly affected by the pandemic and relevant restrictions in the past year. These unused funds were redirected to SPL clubs in the form of subsidies. The FAS remains committed to the future of local football and will continue to devote resources wherever possible for the development of community and youth initiatives. The group's remaining 37.5% was spent on various footballing programs and activities. Approximately 2.8 million Singapore dollars was spent on domestic football development and grassroots in the areas of women's football and subsidies to amateur clubs. Despite the circumstances, the group continued to invest in the women's game through competitions such as the Women's Spanner Challenge, training allowances and medical expenses. The expenses for national teams was reduced close to 50% due to a lack of overseas training and tournaments given the fluid COVID-19 situation and resulting travel restrictions, while the remaining was disbursed to operating and other costs. Overall, the group saw a decrease in total expenditure in financial year 2021 by close to 20% compared to financial year 2020.